The Tom and Doug Show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Tom.
I'm Doug.
And we're here on the Tom and Doug Show. And we want to talk about something that's, I don't know, it's a little bit...
It's a national pastime.
National pastime, but it's also a little bit controversial because people just don't want to admit that they do this. It's one of those things that people just want to think that that's not me. But
Yeah.
really, in their bathrooms, in the privacy of their own home, they're doing this all the time. If you think about America and all the houses in America, I'd say each house has somebody doing this right now.
Yeah.
And that thing is forgetting. Everybody likes to forget, but nobody wants to fess up to how much they forgot.
And how fun it can be to forget.
The forgetting is one thing, but there's some sort of shame attached to forgetting, in which we want to sort of, I don't know, rise above that shame and say, you know what? Forgetting is okay.
Yeah.
But we forgot.
We forgot how we were going to do this.
Yeah.
Because Tom lost the script.
Yeah. So we're going to play this song and we'll see if we can figure
Find
out
it.
what we're doing. There's a place of never-ending history. There's a place of uninspiring mystery. Whatever land is the town your dreams will go to die. Whatever land,
Whatever, man.
whatever land. There's a place of defeated dissidents. There's a place of astounding indifference. Whatever land, like a ghost town you don't understand. Whatever land,
Whatever, man.
whatever land, whatever land. Slam the door without wrath, life some more, make me laugh, stay up late, hit the sack, go to school, don't come back, shred your mind and shred the mail, speak your heart, watch it fail, speak your mind and go to jail. There's a place of bone-chilling tedium. There's a place where every date is a creepy one. Whatever land, walk the plank and join us in the deep. Whatever land,
Whatever, man.
whatever land, whatever land. Indication, nothing heard. Motivation, how absurd. Inspiration, not a word. In this nation, truth deferred. The joke is you, the joke's on me. Everything that I might be, saturated with ennui. There's a place. It's all a waste of time, whatever you do. There's a place. Even the song that you're listening to. Whatever land, give up your soul and join us here. Whatever land,
Whatever, man.
whatever land,
Whatever, man.
whatever land.
Did you find it?
No, I didn't find nothing.
Where'd you put it? So you don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember because I forgot. And forgetting is a wonderful thing. So how does you're like a scientist? How does forgetting work?
I think we don't really know.
Really? Because we don't know what memory is.
See, because memory isn't one thing. Memory is lots of things. So the better word, or the more useful word instead of remember, is recollect. And that tells you the secret of memory, at least human memory, which is we recollect the parts of it. So, the sights part and the sound part and the meaning and the feeling, and the verbal memory of all those things get stored in different parts of the brain.
Oh my
And
gosh.
they have to be recollected and put back together, which is why anytime,
That's sort of like me and my financial information.
anytime you remember something, you remember it, you're actually putting it back together new, and that's why memories change the more you tell them.
I always felt that every time you remember something, that's a whole brand new experience.
It is. And that's what we know about the brain, is that, in fact, the first time it happened was a learning trial, right? And you did learn something from it, and you can remember that thing. But then the next time you tell the story about it, it's not the same.
Right.
Because you're now having some of those same feelings, but in a new context, and now that changes it. And so the memories actually shift. And they will decay just on their own as well.
That's probably because your brain is more likely to remember the last time you told the story as opposed to the time that you actually experienced the thing.
And the more you retell it, you've noticed this probably, that people tell stories. The story can either change a lot as they embellish it in some way, or they say it exactly the same way every time. Because now they've told it that way so many times, that's what they remember. But they've forgotten all sorts of little details and nuances that at one point maybe they would have remembered, but now they've just told the story in this way, so they can only remember it that way.
Very weird.
It is. The brain is squishy.
Let's play this song for them and see if they...
Remember to keep listening.
Yeah.
So, love. Love is an important thing. Yeah. And I've noticed that a lot of songs don't really talk about love very honestly. Yeah. And I thought it was time that we actually wrote an honest love song. If you hear echoes of Adele in this, it's intentional. Found a girl and we roamed the world. We settled down and we're married now. I know my dreams came true. That springtime morning when the dawn was new. I found another girl and I felt so sure, just the right amount, so we settled down, and now all is perfect again. In the summer of my great content, I saw another, and just like that, we both were lovers, so we settled down and lived our life. And the lives of others seemed so trite, until I saw you, and then I knew that I'd found the one who could be the final victor. You and I complete the picture. Each time I fall in love, I know love lasts forever, but unforeseen circumstance we can't anticipate. However, if love is love and old is old and new is always new, then my love is always true. Now this girl sees she's the one for me, and we'll settle down with our roots in town, and now no one else is left. Well, there's always another town, I guess.
Hi, we're talking about forgetting. Now, this is an interesting thing to think about. Forget. So that's what we're doing. I guess that means we're tracing up memories and that we wish that we got them.
I guess. I guess I hadn't thought of the etymology over
And
there.
have you ever tried to consciously forget anything?
I've certainly been aware of times I wished I was able to easily forget something.
I used to have a strategy for this.
Did it work?
It did work.
Okay, go.
The strategy that I would use for forgetting, this was only used for the times like that my heart was broken. So I would want to stop obsessing over a person who had broken my heart. So what I would do is I would be sure each time that person would come up into my memory that I would consciously think of that memory and attach it to some actress or something. And within a day, the whole thing would work.
That actually is very smart. Psychologists who study this type of thing would say part of the way memory works is through your learning associations, right? You're connecting ideas. Let's say I have a fear of heights, which I do. And anytime the thought of height comes up, well, that thought that's connected to it, of fear, also comes up. So one of the ways you train someone to not be afraid is you teach them like a relaxation technique. And while they're doing the relaxation technique, you have them think about heights, think about walking up to a cliff edge or climbing on the roof or whatever it is that scares them. And because you're now pairing the idea of height with relaxation, because you can't be both relaxed and anxious, it breaks that old association and replaces it with new one. So you are actually doing this kind of very clever cognitive behavioral strategy on yourself there, Thomas. I'm impressed. You should charge yourself $220 an hour for that.
Oh, believe me, I do.
Lost your love. Well, I saw her yesterday. It's you she's thinking of. And she told me what to say. She said she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She said she loves you, and you know you should be glad. She said you heard a song that she almost lost her mind. Now she said she knows that you're not the perfect kind. She said she loves you, and you know that can't be bad. She said she loves you, and you know you should be glad. She loves you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She said she loves you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And with a love like that, you know you should be glad. You know it's up to you. I think it's only fair. Pride can hurt you too. So apologize to her, because she loves you. And you know that can't be bad. She said she loves you, and you know you should be glad. She loves you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She said she loves you,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and with a love like that, you know you should be glad. And with a love like that, you know you should be glad. And with a love like that, you know you should be glad.
Yeah, right. So you say. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, I'm Chitra Iyer, and you're watching The Tom and Doug Show.
dog who needs a home. He's been living in a shelter way too long. He's playful and loving to folks he knows, but he gets a little scared in crowds when he goes. Yes, he gets a little scared in crowds when he goes. Click on the picture of Duncan. Rub his belly. Duncan's a dog who needs a home. He comes when you call, but he doesn't have a bone. He doesn't like living all alone. Send Duncan a message today. Send Duncan a message today on a bone. Duncan's the dog you've been waiting for. He'd like a dog bed on your kitchen floor. I don't even think he'd care if you snore. Send Duncan a message today. Click on Duncan. Send Duncan a message today.
We sway out on the streets of a runaway American dream. And at night we ride to the mansions of glory. Suicide machines, you can press it anytime you want. Smoke from pages on the highway. Go ahead, shut up. We'll feel the gap tonight, stepping out over the line. Whoa!
Hi, everybody. We're back. We're talking about forgetting.
Mm.
And do you remember things that you forget? That is, I remember instances where I forgot things. That way I want to remember that I always had a lousy memory, and my memory's not getting successively worse as I get older. That's really the whole point of that.
I think, I wonder, certainly there is a point at which memory gets worse. I think, especially if you have some type of dementia or disease.
Mm.
But I think the whole thing about just because you're getting older means your memory gets worse, I think that's fake. I think it's you've got so much more to remember. So
Right.
let's say you forget on average 5% of things, right? Which is actually not true. You forget way more than that, right?
Right.
You're going to do 1,000 different things today, and by next week you won't remember almost any of them, because the things we remember long term are things that usually have some emotional importance to us.
Right.
But let's say 5% of things. When you're 1 year old, you're going to lose 5% of those memories. But when you're 50 years old, you've got way more memories. And so it seems like you're forgetting more. That's my belief. I'm going to call it the Tom and Doug theory of memory.
When you're in a sort of half sleep mode, your brain goes to all these other places for memory. So I know you're not a big fan of hypnosis, but what is going on when you're falling half asleep and you could remember all this stuff that you couldn't remember when you were not half asleep?
Well, I don't know. But Freud would have talked
Oh,
about...
no, not him. Anytime the answers to a Tom question is answered with the word Freud, I got to fasten my seatbelt.
Yeah. Freud would say, and pretty much modern psychologists don't believe anything Freud said, but he'd say that, and I think he's right about this, that we spend most...
You're a jerk, Tom.
We spend so much of our day trying to control our thoughts and feelings so that we present ourselves in a way that other people will like, that we're showing, our best sides to things. And so we don't do everything we think, thank God.
Right.
But then when you're falling asleep, that control of your emotions and your thoughts and your desires kind of, especially when you are asleep, you've lost that. You're no longer able to control that. And so anything that's in there can come up. I don't know how much of that I believe, but certainly the brain remembers far more than you're consciously aware of. So, for example, if I teach you a thing, and let's say it takes you 100 trials to learn it, but after 100 trials, you've learned it. And now we go away for a year and you don't do it for a year. And I come back next year and I say, hey, Tom, can you do that thing I taught you? And you'll say, no, I don't remember. And I test you, and sure enough, you don't remember. So I teach you. This time it only takes you 20 trials to learn it. That's interesting. That means you didn't actually forget it. You can relearn it faster. So my father, who was an educational psychologist, said the purpose of learning is not to always remember, because you will forget. The purpose of learning is to make relearning faster. So then what is it? If you're not consciously aware that you remember it, and yet you can relearn it much quicker, did you forget it or didn't you? And so maybe in that half awake state, you're better able to access the things that you do know, but you don't consciously know anymore?
That's possible. It feels like that. It feels like there's whole levels of experience that feel common to me, but only in that space. Anyway, that's the way it feels. But I forgot.
Then that's weird.
No, I'm sorry.
If Tom feels it, it must be weird.
Well, let's play one more song, and then we'll come back and say goodbye to you.
As long as we don't forget to.
The great wine experts of the world know that the true secret to a great wine is freshness. The most respected winemakers are those that understand the importance of freshness. At TomandDoug.com, we make you this solemn promise. Each bottle of our Podberry brew comes direct from our feet to your mouth.
Tom, it feels like we were supposed to do something.
Did we forget to do something?
I don't know.
Well, the show's about forgetting, so
No, so we
forgot
must
it.
have.
We must have did it.
We must have done it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're sorry. Just ignore our talking to you right now and listen to this pretty music because that's what it's.
Well, because that shows we're done.
Yeah,
And
we're
we must have done everything we needed to do.
We finished it. Oh man,
That was a good show.
that was a pretty good show.
Feels like there was something else we were supposed to do.
Can't remember. Oh well, I'm sure we must have done it because
Yeah.
we are very professional here.
Yeah, and the show's over, so obviously it's done.
Yeah.